being fatherless and then going to fatherhood, I just felt unequipped, and I immediately told myself negative, false truths about my ability.
Language, I swear to God, I would have been. I didn't know. So I love you. If I could reach you that phone, hug the hell out of you.
I'd hug you right now, man.
My story is crazy. It's a crazy faith story and testimony of the miraculous healing and restoration that can only come from a Savior. I'm Troy Brooks, and I grew up fatherless. I didn't know what it was supposed to feel like to have a father, but I knew what it felt like to not have one. I remember birthday parties, I remember celebrations, I remember achievements, and I always felt like I'm so grateful for these things, but something is missing. That's how it started, and I think that was the foundation for what later turned into abandonment, feelings of rejection, which definitely became the underpinning of my existence. My entire life, I started to see my life through a lens of rejection and abandonment.
How did rejection and abandonment shape you?
It shaped me deeply in a way that everything that I did, I existed to either show people how cool I am or the great things in my life with hopes that they would keep those people in my life, or it would show up in the way of exhaustion by people pleasing, by going above and beyond to do things, be around people, be in spaces that I may have not even wanted to actually be in, just because I felt like if I said no, that they would leave my life.
When it came to your friendships,
sometimes you feel like you may be actually outgrowing a relationship. You might be outgrowing certain friendships, but because you're so fearful of people leaving your life, you don't even have the boldness to necessarily remove yourself from the relationships that's toxic, from the relationship that's not adding value to your life. And I feel like that's what I've done for a long time. I have relationships that were tense. I have relationships where the friendship was definitely dissipating. Like, it was very clear to us that it was no longer what we thought it was. The call stopped, the text stopped, the checking in stopped, like it just stopped. And I remember like always trying to be the one who would reach out, always be the one to try to reconcile, always being the one trying to force a relationship that I actually didn't even really want. But psychologically, because I think everyone's going to leave me, even though I don't even want this relationship, I'm fighting for it because I don't want them to leave me. I think rejection and abandonment in my relationships showed up in the way, can I take time?
Yeah.
This is like heavy.
Yeah, of course.
I think when you see life through this jaded lens of rejection and abandonment, like you can't see your life through that lens of rejection and abandonment and have boundaries. Like, I don't think the two exist. They don't coexist. And I think for me, because I saw myself as not worthy, I think I stayed in relationships longer than I could have that weren't serving to me. I think now I look at myself and I'm like, man, you might have put too much on a person that wasn't there to be that void that you needed to fill. Like, that wasn't even their place, you know? And I think there was emotional heaviness that I placed on women. I had emotional expectations and love expectations for them to fill a void in my life that they could never fill. So when we first had our first son, Sage, I remember, I immediately remember being super excited because we wanted to have a child. He was intentional, but I also immediately feeling these feelings of like, I've had no roadmap. There's no playbook. I haven't had anyone really close in my life who I've watched do this, and I feel like I am not set up for success. And I remember also telling myself, like, man, what if my kid wants to play sports? And I'm like, here I am, I'm not really the biggest sports guy. Like, what if my kid wants to do certain things? I'm like, how am I gonna do this? Because for me, the absence of the father, being fatherless and then going to fatherhood, I just felt unequipped, and I immediately told myself negative, false truths about my ability. I did not think that I was cut out to do it from the beginning. And I mean, you think you can't do something because you don't have the presence or the role model or the person that would have walked that before you, that you'd have been like, let me take some of these attributes and things from them into my journey. And that's, I think over the years, what I've realized is that God actually designed me to do this, even with the absence of a father. And I think I've built an entire platform wanting to show that it's possible, that you don't have to have a father, an earthly father, to be a father. And I think even just my heavenly Father over the years has shown me that even without the absence, the presence of a physical father, that I have what I need to be a present father. I mean, the tools like therapy, helping me unpack that, helping me realize and deal with some of the deep, dark childhood trauma that I had to go through, helped me to become a better father. Being a husband will do something to you that'll shape you into being a better father. Even the way I watch my wife become an amazing mom, and it motivated me to also be an amazing father. I think also I just became really apparently aware of my presence with my kids. I think when you initially first have kids, you want to give them everything that you didn't have. I think it's a really normal thing you want to do. I think you want to even subconsciously, you might not be aware, but I think sometimes you even want to give them experiences and things that you didn't have, that they might not even care for, but these are your things. But I think once you start to work through those things and you start to heal and iron those things out, you become a little bit more firm and more strong in your own identity, then you start to see that those things that you wanted for your kids may not be what they want. You're able to show up more for what they want. And I think now for me, being present for my kids is one of the most important things I can do. Like doing Dino Daddy and some of these crazy things that we do in the house, the way I play with them, the way I love them, affirm them, the way they come to me now and tell me that I'm doing a great job.
What's the story that you've always been told about your father?
I was told that he was the high school captain of the basketball team, and she was the high school swim team captain, and they kind of fell in love, and boom, Troy came into the world. During that time, I was told that my father didn't really want a baby, and that he pushed my mother down the stairs with me in her stomach, and then my entire family came to go get her, and that was the last time she saw him. Correction, she did see him another time, but I remember just having this one photo. This is the only photo I have of the man that I was told was my father, and he was holding me in his arms and he was smiling, and that's the photo that I've held on to my entire life. Surprisingly, she still named me after him, so I was a junior. And then over the course of his life, he got into drug dealing, and then from drug dealing turned into a drug addict. I was also told that my paternal grandmother was a bootlegger and a hustler, and I just came, that side of the family was a family that I would want nothing to do with. So I kind of grew up like, okay, as I got older, I had no real desire to get to know him. I was also told by my grandmother that he called looking for me, but it was only a means to get to my mother. Again, framing this identity in through this film of, he doesn't really want me. I was rejected. I was abandoned. So all I have is this photo. There were no hugs. There were no birthday parties. There were no phone calls. There were no meetups. There were no playground dates. None of that. Anything that you expect to experience as a child, I did not experience that. I had one thing, and that was a photo. I had a few opportunities in life to try to find him. I remember one friend that I grew up with in my neighborhood he got locked up, and when he came home, I ran into him and he was like, Troy, you wouldn't believe this, but I actually was in jail with your father, and here's his number, and he wants to get to know you, and all these things. Like, that alone was crazy. I was like, what are the chances? And during that time, the woman that I was with was willing to help me go down that journey. But, sometimes you just have pride and your ego gets in the way. And I'm like, I'm grown now. I've went this long without this man. I'm good. And that was the story that I told myself. So I didn't go through with it, but I definitely had an opportunity. I don't remember who told me this, but it was somebody creditable that told me that my biological father had passed away. And I remember for the first time really feeling like, man, I missed an opportunity to get to know this guy. I'm not really big on regrets. I don't have many regrets, but at that time when I had found out that he had passed away, feelings of regret started to take over, like that I really missed that opportunity. And then there was a little bit later on in life, about a year ago, I was preaching a sermon, and as I was writing this sermon, these thoughts just kept coming up inside of me, which I truly believe were the enemy just trying to get me to be distracted. And I remember wanting to go to Queens. I remember telling Chantel, like, we gotta go to Queens and we gotta find a family and we gotta do all these different things. And I was perseverating on this, like I could not stop thinking about him. And I've never thought that before. But then immediately after preaching that sermon, it went away and I had no more of a desire to do that. After I heard that he passed away, I worked through my regret by learning to give myself grace and honestly learning to forgive myself. And that wasn't easy work. It was hard work. I think for anyone who's ever had to forgive themselves that did not have the opportunity to get forgiveness from a person that they deemed to be hurt by, that's a lot of work to do. But I had to learn to forgive myself, not even just for the man that I was told was my father, but just for myself, so that I can continue to push through and be the man that God had called me to be. The main thing that was holding me back the entire time from doing this again was fear. I just think I was afraid to find out. I was afraid of, again, being rejected, being abandoned, finding an entire family who may not be excited about me, finding a family who may not want me. I mean, I don't know, I was a kid, I was a baby, so I don't know what the dynamic was between my mom's side of the family and this side. So I just never knew what it would have been if they would have been welcoming and inviting to me, even if I found them. So my kids lost their only biological aunt, and that started to put like curiosity in my mind about, do we have an entire family out there that we don't know about? And are they the people that my family said they were, or is there a possibility that they're not? Although I was told that my father was dead, I just still had this desire to know if I had more aunts, more uncles, more nieces, more cousins on that side of the family. Once I overcame the fear, the first thing I did is, I'm not gonna lie, I grabbed my phone and I went on ChatGPT and I was like, what's the first step? What do you do to find your family? And I went on 23andMe, and this was great because at that time we already had done some 23andMe work, some ancestry work, just to see like the lineage of my family. But when I went on there, things were very different this time around. Immediately after I logged on my phone, an alert popped up on 23andMe, and me and Chantel looked at each other like, what's going on? It said, you have a new DNA match on your paternal family side. I clicked into it and it said, you have a you have a new DNA match. It's showing that this person is your aunt, and she has 24.61% of your DNA, which is crazy. So again, I go on ChatGPT and I'm like, is this real? Like, and they're like, there's no way that someone can have that much DNA and not be your family member. So for me and my wife Chantel go on Facebook, we find this woman, and this is the part y'all will not believe. She's friends with my mother, she's friends with my aunt. So I'm not talking to my mom at the moment, so I call my aunt, and my aunt says, hey, no, that it can't be my friend, one of my closest friends for 40 years. And I'm like, listen, it's saying this woman is my aunt. So I asked for her information. She calls Debbie. Debbie says it's okay. I start talking to Debbie.
This would work out. If in fact, I'm 25% your aunt, I believe you would be my brother Bill's son.
Brother Bill's son.
My brother Bill.
I was been told, stay away from them. They're this, they're that. You right now are already showing me that you have the emotional intelligence and just capacity and margin. Like, you are everything that they said you.
Oh, sweetheart. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, sweetheart. I feel so blessed right now. Let those be healing tears. Let those be healing tears. Yes. What an amazing blessing this is. What an amazing blessing.
We take a few days to kind of try to process that, and over the time of continuing to talk this thing out and walk and navigate this together, she makes me take a paternity test.
And
99% DNA match. So I have a father, and he is alive. This man is not the father that I was told was always my father. So the man that I was told was my biological father, the man that I had this one photo of, was not my biological father. The man that I thought rejected me, abandoned me, and wanted nothing to do with me was not my biological father.
did he know you existed? How did you feel?
I remember sitting there with my heart beating and just sitting in silence in the car when I read these results saying, what? I mean, I was floored. That's my first initial thing was I'm like, what do you mean I have a father? What do you mean he's alive? And then my new aunt, right? Because I also got the new aunt, let's not forget that. The new aunt is like, hey, I'm gonna let you sit with the results before I allow him to speak to you, but I want you to know that your biological father desperately wants to speak to you and wants to know you. And I think, I was trying to process that, but that again just felt good to hear because that was exactly what I was not thinking was possible. That was exactly what kept me from going down this journey, is what I was telling myself, which is this part of the family may want nothing to do with me. And immediately my aunt tells me after I get these results that your father cannot wait to speak to you. And, my biological father is an 8th degree black belt, taught martial arts, and it's kind of been like inducted into like the martial arts Hall of Fame for Taekwondo and Hapkido. And outside of that, he's a caretaker and teacher in the education system. So the crazy thing about this is by the time I sit with this for some time and we schedule time to talk to each other is 3 days before Christmas. And I got to hear this guy's voice for the first time, and I'm hearing his voice and I'm like, wait, like this guy kind of sounds like me. Like he sounds like he's from New York.
Wow, it's good to see you,
You
man.
too, man.
I'm pleased more than you think, man. I hope you're not as nervous in the stomach as I am, but
I am.
Sounds like he's from Queens. And that was crazy. We got to speak.
I've been waiting for this moment my entire life and never.
He just, he immediately told me, and this is our first call, this is a FaceTime. I'm looking at this man in his eyes, and
If it would actually happen, so staring at you in the face, man, is redemptive.
we resemble each other, you know what I mean? And we're both bald dudes, we both got beards, we both love hats, and I'm looking at who's my biological father for the first time, and the first thing he says to me is, you were never rejected, you were never abandoned, because I did not know you existed.
I've created a narrative of abandonment and rejection my whole life.
wow.
I thought I wasn't wanted, and yeah.
Look, I tell you something, which I swear to God I didn't know. So, I love you. If I could reach you that phone, hug the hell out of you.
I'd hug you right now, man. I'd hug you right now, man. I'd run into your arms.
And immediately when he said that, I just remember crying, and I remember it just felt like literally this false identity that I had placed on myself.
It's not a dream. This isn't, I'm awake. This is real.
This filter in the way that I saw my life just fell to the floor. I felt like in that moment, literally God just redeemed me, and he redeemed my identity.
I'm like, I'm the only one with a beard. Yo, who do I get this from? Yes, come on,
man. The story I told myself of rejection, the story that I told myself of abandonment was not my story. And then my dad, he follows that up with, I just want you to know.
I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, God.
Man,
Thank
I'm
you,
telling
Lord.
you, gotta
Thank
thank
you,
God.
God. Thank you, God.
I would have been there.
Yeah.
And I lost it. I'm a crier. I got a saying, better out than in. So I'm gonna get these tears out. But this cry was different. It was like this real ugly cry. And what I realized was the boy in me, the 9-year-old, the 7-year-old inside of me was crying in a way that that void that I've been trying to fill in every area of my life, God filled for me right there.
43 years old. Why do I feel like a child? And it's because I'm your son.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
Because God, it was written.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
written.
I thought my dad was dead. I thought my dad was gone. And my dad is right here in front of me, man. Alive and well.
No, dude. That messed me up. But then I had to start looking at it different, and I'm praying. I said,
Yeah.
okay, now I got a new shot at life. I
Yeah,
got a new chance.
yeah.
It's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay.
Here, I don't know if y'all can see it. This is a photo of my dad. We got a little bit of a different nose, but the cheekbones, the eyes, the head, everything. Even the mannerisms is crazy. Some of the things that we say, some of the things that I say, he says. I'm always saying either you feel me or you understand after I say a sentence to make sure people really understand. And my dad literally, after every sentence, like, you understand? And we laugh about it. So yeah, all of this is crazy because it's framing the way I see how I'm parenting my boys and what genetics, how much of a role it plays. So I had a big background in the fitness industry for over 15 years, strength, conditioning, group fitness. And my father, 8th degree black belt, taught karate, taught taekwondo, taught hapkido, did all these things, super athletic, big into calisthenics, like photos of him doing planches. And I got videos and photos of me doing flags. Like we just, same thing. My father rode a unicycle around the neighborhood. We actually grew up in the same neighborhood, and he rode a unicycle around the neighborhood. I also had a unicycle. Like, that's crazy in itself. Like, how many people out here just be out here on unicycles? Like, so that was wild to see some of those things. Even my aunt, I was on the phone talking to my new aunt, and I was drinking water and I got the hiccups, and I shared with her that, you know, my whole life I get the hiccups. And she's like, yeah, I gotta show you how to combat that. You won't believe this, but your dad suffered with hiccups his whole life. And these are just things, you know, when I think about my maternal side of the family, my Uncle Leo, my grandfather, none of these guys have beards. They got like little rat whiskers, you know, little peach fuzz, little mustache, little situation. They both have full hairlines. And I'm like, but I'm bald, like my hair grows all over here, like where does this come from? And then my father, who was bald and bearded, shows me a photo of my grandfather, his father, who was also bald and bearded. And that's crazy because I see that all of that came from this side of the family. I don't know if you believe what I believe. I don't know what your faith system is, but my God is faithful, and he is a redeemer, and he is a restorer and a healer. And the identity that was my identity my whole life, this false identity of rejection, of abandonment, has been erased from me. And I'm walking differently. I feel differently. It has me showing up in the world differently. It has me parenting differently. I speak to my father every single day. Me and this man are both men of faith. We have two different belief systems, but we don't let any of that get in the way. We just love on each other and spend time talking to each other And it's been the most amazing thing. I mean, I'm still blown away by it, that this is actually my life. My birthday is in a few months. It's gonna be the first birthday that I actually have with my father. It's gonna be the first Father's Day that I'm going to have with my father. So not only am I a father, but I actually have a father to celebrate and love this Father's Day. And that alone is crazy. It's crazy. I promised myself that if I decided to go down this journey with him, that I would have an open hand, that I wouldn't do this, because if I do this, then I'm not allowing God to do anything. But if I keep an open hand posture, and God can do exceedingly and abundantly more than I can ever think or imagine, and I feel like he's already doing it. My father is a human being. Human beings fall short. Human beings disappoint each other. That's the nature. But for me, honestly, like, that's even a blessing. I was telling somebody the other day, they were like, what would you do if he didn't show up, or if he disappointed you? I said, even the fact that I have a father that can disappoint me is a blessing. Like, y'all don't understand, 43 years with no father. Even if my father disappointed me, there's a blessing in that, because I've never had a father to disappoint me. So I just think I'm just in a place of gratitude. So whatever it's going to be, it'll be. But he's open to just continuing to grow. I'm open to continuing to grow. And we just want to grow towards each other. And we're not looking at all the time that we didn't have. We're just looking forward to the time that we do have to spend time with each other and to love each other. Today I have a father who is recklessly pursuing me, who, when he sees my face, tells me he loves me and cries. I get on the phone with this man and I start crying. God is blowing my mind right now. He's blowing my mind. This is one of my favorite scriptures. This is Ephesians 3:20. I'm going to read you the New Living Translation text. It says, "Now all glory to God, who is able, through his mighty power at work within us, to accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think." I'm living in an Ephesians 3:20 blessing right now. There is no way that I could ever have thought that this was going to be my life, or that this would be my now. But I'm so excited for this. I'm so grateful for it, and I'm looking forward to my future. First thing I would say is wait on the Lord. That there is worship. I don't know what it is you're waiting for, but we are all waiting for something. We're waiting for a breakthrough. We're waiting for God to do something. We're waiting for him to show us that his promises are true. But he stands true. His promises are true. And how we wait is a form of worship. I don't know what it is you're waiting for. I don't know if you're waiting for your father. I don't know if you're waiting for your mother. I don't know if you have a person in your family who's dealing with alcohol abuse or drug addiction, that you're praying that, Lord, they just come around. I don't know what your story is, but I promise you, if you wait on the Lord with an open hand, that he will fulfill his promises for you. My story is crazy. It's a crazy faith story and testimony of the miraculous healing and restoration that can only come from a Savior named Jesus. And today I'm encouraging you to trust him, to lean into him, and to allow him to order your steps. We live in a world where we want everything. These things in my hand right now, we can get almost anything instantly. It took me 43 years to be reconciled to my Father. It took Jesus 33 years before he actually lived out and fulfilled what the old prophecies in the Old Testament of the Bible told everyone he would come to fulfill. So today I'm asking you to just wait, to be patient, and to find peace as you wait. I'm also encouraging you today to take a chance. It took me a long time to get here, but here's the truth. If I would have went down that journey to find my father earlier, I would have never landed on the man that was my father. So another thing is we got to trust God's timing. I thought for so long, I'm feeling these feelings. Why didn't I search for my father? Because I would have ended up on a man that wasn't my father. That was God's protection. Sometimes you want to walk through doors that he's closing, and he's closing that door not because he doesn't want to see you blessed. He doesn't want to see you grow. He's closing it because he wants to protect you. So we just have to trust him. 43 years, I did not have a father, but I had an amazing mom who did the best she could with what she had to provide an amazing life for me. She sacrificed to provide resources for me, to see the world, to experience things in a different way. I had people in my neighborhood, although I didn't have father, I had an amazing grandfather. I have an amazing uncle. I've had men in my life, a few dudes on the block in my neighborhood that just showed me a different way when the world was trying to make me go this way. I have friends that I grew up with that we could have stayed in our 5, 10, or 15 mile radius, but we choose to get on the subway and venture into Manhattan, which took us to other boroughs and other places, and then ultimately other states. And then those experiences with friends in other states opened up my perspective of the world to go to other countries. So I had a whole tribe of people around me that poured into me, and it takes a village, and I'm so grateful for that village. Although I did not have a father, I had an amazing community around me to help form the man that I am today, and I'm so grateful for them. For my people out there who are still fatherless, and you know your father has passed away, and you don't have the same kind of story, or you won't have the same kind of testimony that I have, I do want to encourage you that you may not have an earthly father, but you have a father in heaven who loves you. You have a father in heaven who sees you. You have a father in heaven who made you in his image, that you are his marvelous work, that from the crown of your head to the toes of your feet, he loves you and has a plan for you. And if you're a father who doesn't have a father, you're a mother who doesn't have a father, I want you to know the same thing, that even though you didn't have a roadmap to do this, that you do have a blueprint that you can follow, the same blueprint that I followed, and that is the way that he loves us, the way that our Father in heaven loves us radically, and the way he sacrifices for us is the same blueprint that we can follow when it comes to parenting our children. The world wants you to think that you're alone, but you're not alone. My name is Troy Brooks, and I found my father.
You're my first. Do you understand?
Yes.
With pain comes ease. Do you understand?
Yes,
so you had
yes.
to go through this
Yeah,
journey.
yeah.
But look at you. Look at you.
Yeah.
Look what he brought us today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's because of your faith, too. You didn't give up. Look at you. I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.